All right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Kevin from Syphon Filter Central here. It's been a long time. It's the last thing we probably streamed would have been the Omega Strain Live, almost 2 years ago, year and a half ago. So today, as a little test on a Saturday where I've got nothing going on, we are going to pull up the old Toys R Us interactive CD sampler demo. This demo was from, I believe, October or November of '98. This is the first demo I remember playing when I got my PS1 back in the day. You know, Medieval, Bugs Life, Spyro, Crash Warped, NFL Game Day '99, and then, of course, Syphon Filter. Now, the interesting thing about this is the video you see here is not going to look like the game demo that we'll actually play. I believe this video was used at E3 in 1998. You can see the radar is a little bit different. For the most part, the text and the UI, the rest of the UI is the same. I don't know if they showed in this video, but I believe the early versions had the armor, like flak jacket, target, and damage up across the top, and then they probably decided for the select button, the select button game or gun chooser, weapon chooser. So, ironically enough, this is also like the only logo on this demo that looks like trash. Like they couldn't just give them a transparent logo, but that's just the marketing graphic designer in me that's irritated. So, let's get started. Take a look at this demo. Again, thanks for you guys that are joining. It has been quite some time. When I stream for my full-time job, I've got a studio with some a bit better gear than I've got here. So apologies for the blips here and there, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. I will try to keep up with the chats. That's the other thing too, is that the chat does not show up. So I'll have to manually look at those. One thing I've always been enamored by is the Syphon Filter theme, but specifically the Syphon Filter 1 theme is very slightly different than the second and the third game, and I'm actually just noticing now as I'm getting ready to play this that the demo has the same theme as 2 and 3. So somewhere between October, November when they made this demo and when they actually launched the game in February '99, they decided to change the audio up. No idea. One of these days I'd love to talk to Chuck Doyd and interview him. Now, the first thing you'll notice, and it's kind of hard to see here because our outline, kind of like the cool little thing I did was take the menu from the original trilogy, cut it out so the gameplay video could go in the middle here, but even for October, and it says October, the files are dated October, I have a feeling that this is actually from more of the summer of '98 before a lot of their UI stuff changed. It just seems, it's hard to believe that they would have changed so much towards the end of the dev cycle. But we have heard from people, and I've talked to people personally where they say there has been some, there's some cluster. But the briefing here, this is how we're used to seeing it when the trilogy games, the levels load. But when the actual demo itself loads, a little different. Lorenzo, thanks for joining us here on YouTube, or excuse me, on Facebook. I know we got a few people here on YouTube as well. Again, this is just we haven't done this in a while. Let's get back into things. Not too much difference, not too many differences that I can tell. I believe, because I was playing the full sleeve demo yesterday, objectives and parameters are in one. There's definitely some stuff missing here. But let's go ahead and get started. So the one thing you will notice as I just get pelted with bullets here. because apparently the enemies are strong in the demo. The target system is different. Another one of those things that you really don't ever notice is when I picked up multiple ammo, the 9mm bullets, actually they stack on top of each other. The text at the bottom there. Don't think it does that in the real game, in the regular games, but it has been a while since I've played, so maybe I'm wrong here. One of the experiments I was going to do at some point would take the files for the targeting system here, the yellow auto aim, and then the red manual aim, and see if we can actually get them working in the real game. Yeah, there's definitely a shit ton more terrorists that come out in this demo, because I can't think of a time where I ever had 5 or 6 at one time just all hanging out here waiting to kill me. I also don't remember the last time that I actually lost, like died. Mars, thanks for joining, my friend. Yeah, absolutely agree. Oh, damn it, I'm looking at the chat and not actually where I'm playing. Mars, thanks for joining again. This is just a quick little get back in the swing of things stream. My other problem I had before when I recorded the video was the PlayStation 3, the Sony and their Ultimate Wisdom had a lot of like copyright protection, so you couldn't stream record anything back in the day. There are some... Oh, look at that. I got killed because the car exploded. Damn it. Lee, it is absolutely an underrated series. Alright, we're going to start this over and actually play and not just talk and talk. But yeah, Mars, I agree. The aiming system was terrible, and that's probably why they changed it in the instance that the October, November file dates on this demo, if in the instance they're actually accurate. Almost died again because of the car. Now, I want to say Foxhand did a preview of this demo a long time ago. I think somebody had mentioned that there was maybe that it was maybe set in hard mode, but that also might have been for the Syphon Filter 3 demo. Yeah, holy crap. I mean, there's literally like 3 dudes the moment I walk in. Now, the other thing that's tough, too, as I was trying to get these graphics and images ready for the stream the last couple of days, the Toys R Us demo, at a certain point, will actually just, if you let it sit too long, it will actually fade to black. It'll pull up a logo screen, which is basically a freeze frame of the title screen, and then kick you back to the main menu. So it's one of those things where I want to make sure I don't sit around too long. But yes, Mars, I do remember hearing that. Now, the one thing that is interesting, I will say, as some of you may or may not know, I do have access. I do have a copy of a early alpha version of the game that that was given to me by a dev back in the day. Unfortunately, it is not playable. I have not been able to get it to work in all the years I've had it, but I am able to see the files on there, and it is dated from October of '97, and there is nothing on there about Costa Rica or the plantation. I do know there is some truth, there is some definite truth to the plantation wanting to be on there. I remember we heard that from the devs, but I don't know if it was ever actually, outside of conceptualization, I don't know if it was actually built. Now, I will say this is also very different than the later demos that came in the PlayStation UK and US magazines, and also the sleeve demo. Kravitz actually has his own Oh god, I'm terrible. It's been so long. Actually, that's interesting. I've never had the beginning audio sequence between Gabe and Leon load. Now, again, I haven't played this demo in forever and a day, so it might just be another glitch. I think there's also a part on here where Gabe actually calls Leon Meizing. Alright, you know what? We got all these fucking fancy guns. I'm getting tired of these sons of bitches. Boy, you can tell I haven't played this game in a while. The other thing that's different, too, is there's more light here. There's no... I believe in the final, you have... Basically, you can tell that there's been some shit going down here. Now, it says Lianzing. Yes. But Gabe says Meizing. Frankly, I like Lianzing better. Now, that may just be because I've known Lianzing as a name for 20 years or 20 plus years, but... Oh, wrong way. Getting so caught up in just playing this for the first time in forever. The other place, literally, that changes a lot is the place we are here. The actual bar itself. Now, this is interesting. In the final versions, I think this is actually just a wall. I don't know if they thought that it was just too hard for people. Because, I mean, there's a ton of terrorists here. Now, in the actual later demos, you actually go out of a window here, and then that is how you get to this area to turn the power off for the subway switches. The other thing that I had heard from somebody not long ago that I thought was actually pretty interesting is the subway, which we won't actually be able to get to in this demo. The subway that you can play in the full demo is actually different than the destroyed subway. Somebody had said the destroyed subway is the original subway design, and then for some reason they redid it. I don't know if they just wanted to make it cleaner textures or what, but in theory it actually completely changed the design of it.
Gabe, this must be where the subway security bypass switch is located. Find it and shut it off.
Copy.
Yes, thank you. The annoying broken light.
Some security protocols.
This is, I mean, pretty identical to where the broken light is identical to what it's got here. Now, this is an interesting camera angle that I don't think we ever really see,
The first terminal should be clear now.
at least on this level. It's such a tiny area, I'm not surprised that the cameras are all over the place. Now, Mars has a good point. It does make a better layout, but not, like, it makes more sense that way, but doesn't for the game. Now, I do like the layout of the place at the end, like in the final build. It gives it a more space. It doesn't feel as cramped. The other thing, the other place that is missing is that is in the final is the area over here where you can actually go to the theater. I believe the sniper rifle box that is down by the subway power entrance is actually over by the movie theater. So the movie theater is over there. You can see, you got to save a couple CBDC agents that are up on top of the building. But yeah, it's again, I haven't played this in forever, but it's so damn tough. At least this demo, just because there's so many terrorists. Now, of course, the demo is going to end here. The other thing that's interesting is that both these doors open. If I remember correctly, only the right-hand door opens. But maybe that's just me. I'm not really sure. Yes, and so you actually... So this is a screen I was talking about, the available February 1999 screen. And yes, so you can get into the theater, and I believe you can actually watch the cutscene videos from... the first Syphon Filter game. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. You can, it is almost like Resident Evil fixed camera style. Alright, now, the other thing that's hard about this demo is that it's like, it is such a quick demo. Pardon me, just wants to actually play Spyro the Dragon. I really wish we had access to this original Syphon Filter demo. At some point, in some way, I will find, I will make, I will pay somebody the money to actually make the demo I have working. It's just tough because I don't know of anybody else who has something as early as I do. But the one thing, you know, talking about this again, I don't actually, outside of the targeting reticles, however you say it, I don't actually mind the layout of the original area. Now, I wish the video would restart. It's kind of interesting to see that, let's see, it's kind of interesting that the footage on this video is actually, it almost looks like the level has more character to it. It's gonna, let's see if I can get this to reset. I was hoping that moving it up and down would actually reset it. But like the entrance down to the subway, you see a bit more like buildings back there with cars turned over. I don't know. I'd love to get access to that at some point. What I am going to do really quick is take like a 30-second break. I do actually have one of the magazine demos I will throw on my PlayStation here. And we'll see if we can compare the two. So thanks for joining. Stay tuned. We're not going anywhere yet. We're just going to take a quick break, switch out the game, and play another Syphon Filter 1 demo. Alright, so we are back here. Lee, Mars, all you guys, thanks for hanging out here. So the layout technically says demo disc, although it's not correct. This is not the sleeve demo disc, but this is actually... So what happened is I'm basically using something to... that's funny. Alright, well, you guys are... Technically, this actually should work without an issue, but I'm using software to play ISO images. So, it tried to load the original demo again instead of the disk here. This is actually 100 times easier compared to when I was trying to stream this and get games emulated on the computer here. It was just ridiculously too hard. So this is going to look a little off just because the stream video itself is actually made for 4:3, but obviously my PlayStation is in 16:9. But hopefully this should actually, because this is the PAL version. Alright, we will switch to the US one. The only difference is, I actually don't think there is a difference between these two demos. These are the PlayStation US UK magazine. Alright. Let's see if this works now. Anton Gerdoux, bonjour. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so honestly, it's been so long since I have tried to play a PAL disc on my NTSC system, so probably not the best time to start. But this is the March 1999 PlayStation Magazine demo. So this is going to most likely mimic the sleeve demo that came out right before the game was released. Thanks, Anton. So we are actually now switching over to the official PlayStation Magazine demo. Ironically, this is from March of '99, but it says 1998. Just want to see, I haven't actually done much on here. So this looks like it is going to be the close to final version. Ah, look at the same crappy logo screen. Man, I know it was 1998, 99, but come on. This is the problem. You could already tell they weren't giving Syphon Filter the love. Yeah, it was the Crosshair UI. You didn't really see too much of it in the UI, or excuse me, in the trailer, but this one that we're switching to here from the magazine is probably going to end up being the final, especially because it came out in 1990, in March, a month after the original game came out. It's a great question on why he was given the same look. I've always wondered the same thing. It's actually really frustrating. I can't think of a good reason why they would do that. Now, the other thing I mentioned to these guys earlier that is interesting is that the theme in this demo is not the same as the actual demo, or excuse me, the full version of the game, this actual menu theme matches what they have in Syphon Filter 2 and 3. Now this is interesting, actually. So I have not played this one before, but apparently it looks like it's going to be very similar to what we had. The red text saying Georgia Street Subway District loaded.
I've got an ID match for Romer on level 1. Your due is
So even though this is dated March of 1999,
Copy. I'm on my way.
I wonder if this is... No? Okay, so this is at least different than the original demo that we just played from the Toys R Us, because it does have what seems to be the final crosshair. Hi, I'm pressing the aim at this guy button, please. Alright.
Amazing. Romer's men have locked down
Interesting.
security gates.
Okay, so this is new to me.
See if you can find a service elevator.
Yes, Anton, please review afterwards. I'm going to do the same. I know for a fact it is different. I just assume that it is probably very similar. Now, to the 2 and 3 one. Now, this is interesting. So, the Mei Zing line is still in there. So, Gabe calls for... The pop-up text says Lian Zing, but he calls her Mei Zing, which has been discovered a long time ago that was the original name for Lian, and I think... John Garvin and a few others had mentioned that in a previous interview. The other thing is I feel like this demo is on hard mode. There is way more terrorists than I remember there being in the final game. Alright, so right now, as of this second, the only difference is between the Toys R Us demo and this demo, which this is dated March 1999, but the Toys R Us demo is at least dated from October of 98. Yeah, so this must have come out, this must have been from like December of 98, because it has the final targeting system, which I agree with everybody, so much better. Now, the one thing I actually like better, or I would have liked better, is if they had different colors depending on how much of the target was actually highlighted. Now, Gerdu, where is the demo that you're referencing? Where is that demo from? It's just very interesting that they had the final demo that they released. I think technically it was dated
CBDC has an agent
final.
at your location. They're requesting cover fire.
It's just very odd to me that the full sleeve demo, I don't know where that came from, but I'm assuming it was like a GameStop or a EB Games exclusive or so, I don't know. But the fact that the only difference in this demo so far seems to just be the targeting system. It's pretty interesting. Alright, so you're going to have the M16 here. We'll even use the rusty trusty flashlight. Yeah, so the grenades are in the back corner here. Now, the other thing I thought of last night that I think is hilarious is that this is a bank, but nothing about this feels like a bank. Outside of the layout. There's no desks, no tables, like, no vault. Like, what kind of damn bank is this? Appreciate that for, oh, hot. I forgot. It's because the bank is no longer in use. So I answered my own question. Don't mind me. Now, Anton, I don't think you were here to see it, but when we were looking at the Toys R Us demo, there was a video, there was a scene like this that looked very similar, except you could actually go down this. Now, it was just a video, it wasn't playable, but it almost looked like the subway entrance was over here instead of at the original area that we know it is at now. Now, I do appreciate the fact that another CBC agent showed up out of nowhere. So, thanks to him for being a friend.
Gabe, I'm getting interference. You must be near their communications array.
Kravich.
Also, I've always loved the way that Gabe has thrown grenades, except right there.
I've destroyed the comm equipment, but I don't see their uplink dish.
I'll trace it. All clear, Gabe.
Alright, so he still has his custom unique model here. Oh, come on, really? Alright, so still no theater area. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that may be the only change is that they decided, alright, targeting system, their user testing must have said this sucks, or it's hard to see. I mean, honestly, if you would have had it as green like the final, I don't know if the circles would have been awful. It's just hard, you know, it was hard when you had red. Now, I only remember one terrorist coming the first time, so that, I mean, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny change. But, it's a change at least. Makis, I'm probably saying your name wrong. The forum registration, I'm not sure what happened there. I'll take a look at it. Honestly, you're better off joining our Discord. The Discord is much more active. It's sf-central.com/discord. So basically, instead of /forums, it's /discord.
Gabe, this must be where the subway security bypass switch is located. Find it and shut it off.
Copy. See if you can find a copy of the subway system security protocols.
For those of you that are just joining now, this is it's such a weird area with the camera. Like, it almost, somebody had mentioned, I think Lee said, it almost feels very Resident Evil-ish. Can't think of any other area where you got like a weird camera like that. Well, let's take a look, Lee. We got some time. 00 Snake, thanks for joining us. Just kind of beginning little stream here. I don't think I've ever actually paid attention to this. That this was actually, oh, what is that? Huh. Wish there was a way to get through walls. Supposedly in the early 99 or the 1997 version I have, you actually can walk through walls. Somebody had mentioned the grenades from 1 to 2. I have not played them back to back in so long. What exactly are the difference in terms of how lethal they are? Buddy, I highly suggest you stop shooting at me. This is not going to go well for you. I was hoping I could get like 6 or 7 of them again. When we were playing the Toys R Us demo, there was like 8 of them that were just chilling out here waiting to take me out. Yeah, I heard from Garvin and Jeff Ross that they just didn't know what, they didn't want to. I know John Garvin wanted to do other things after 2007, so that's what they did. And then after Garvin left, before they started on this new game, before Jeff Ross left, they had brought up Syphon Filter, but, I think they were looking for a remaster instead of a remake. I don't know. It's also interesting that everybody's gone. All the terrorists are gone. None of them. I didn't kill all of them. That's for sure. There was too many of them who just said screw it and walked away. Excuse me, I just shot a grenade. Thank you. Yeah, it's very weird. I did not know that you could just get to a point where no more enemies would respawn. My dog is barking at somebody outside, so I'm going to go yell at her really quick, and then we're going to switch over to the full sleeve demo, which, as far as I know, is the final one. Alright, so I saw that happening as I was walking back inside. Just like the Toys R Us demo, at a certain point, if you just let it sit for too long, it would fade away. Now, again, this is from March, so the actual PlayStation Magazine demo itself. So, clearly just use an old demo instead of the version that they put on the disc sleeve. Alright, well, since I got you guys here hanging out, I'm going to go ahead and actually just load the full sleeve disc demo. That one you actually can play all the way through the subway, which is interesting, to say the least. Alright. That's interesting, Lee, about the grenades. I'll have to check that out. Double O Snake, you know, remasters would be great. I honestly, I don't know. I think there's studios out there that could do this game justice. I just don't know. I just don't think Sony cares, sadly. Now, Lee, the one thing... Oh, come on. Why are... Alright, well, very rarely do I actually, like, play a game off of a disc in my PlayStation 3. So, Lee, the only question I have regarding, though, is that the demo that we played originally from Toys R Us, which was in October of 98, and this one from March of 99, technically they're the same demo, but they do have the differences with the UI. So, I mean, again, I only know game dev from, you know, these days versus, like, 1998, but I can't imagine that they wouldn't have, like, if you're going to spend the time to change some art files, why not just, you know, you have a demo that you literally printed and hard copied to people, like in the sleeve demo, why not just give that, you know, as the demo of like, hey, you know, our game's out, go buy it now kind of thing. I don't know. If it was the same demo, I 100% would agree that would make sense, but I don't know. Again, this is, you know, I guess this technically would be more IADIC in 989 versus Sony. Alright, so now we're switched over to the actual demo disc that is out there in a sleeve. I have a copy. I have not seen a lot of these.
Go, torch it. Burn it all. But what about the serum? Leave nothing. Now I will show you how I deal with informants. Finish him.
With pleasure.
These are the coordinates Ellis sent.
Over there.
It's Ellis. Executed. Leon, you find anything?
The place is torched. I don't know what they were growing, but it wasn't narcotics.
Romer knew we were coming.
So what's our next move?
We watch for the next viral outbreak. We won't have to wait long.
Logan's report was clear enough.
I want 2 additional teams assigned to this. Find Romer.
I understand.
Logan is my best agent. What do you want to do?
Nothing. We will wait. We will wait and see what he can discover.
Our WHO contact was correct. Everyone within 100 miles is dead.
Not everyone. This man is still alive.
How is that possible?
It's not.
Alright, so no difference in that video there, but you do have access to the training
this is a
video.
quick primer on the basic controls you need to complete your mission. Pay attention and you might stay alive. Use your D-pad to move around the environment. By pressing L1 in conjunction with the D-pad, you can aim your weapons for accurate fire. Different weapons have different aim modes. When aiming with the sniper rifle, you can hit the triangle button to zoom in and the circle button to zoom out. Tap the select button to quickly switch to the next weapon, or hold select down and press L2 or R2 to cycle back and forth between weapons. Press start to pause the game and access the interface. Here you can change game options, access level maps, and most importantly, check your current mission objectives and parameters. Pay attention to these. Fail any of them and it's game over. Triangle is your interaction button. Use it to kick open doors, activate switches, climb over obstacles, jump up to ledges, and perform other actions. You'll also use this button to accept incoming transmissions. Hit square to fire. Your likelihood of hitting your target increases the closer you are, the more directly you face the target, and the longer you stand still. With your weapons
Lee,
training,
that's a great
you should
point,
be able to take
actually.
on a battalion of terrorists, but always remember the first rule of combat, Gabe.
I'm going to turn down the volume of this just for a little bit, because what I'm noticing now is that the footage, the screenshots they're showing as Leon explains, actually is a beta version. It's never been in the public, but you can tell because of the top right, there's code, and if I remember correctly from the little game design I do know, usually those are ID numbers of areas that you're in. I know in some of the Resident Evil demo betas that have been out there, you can actually change the room numbers. Probably not the same thing here, but it's interesting that they would not just use a build that doesn't include that. I've never really paid attention to notice that. All right. So Double Snake, yes. So there is some cut content, and actually, our friend Foxhand has a video that I'll try to find and link here. A lot of it is really just lines that were cut. But real quick before I forget, so this is the final demo. It does have, it's a little bit weird because you're seeing it here. You're seeing the final, hey, here's what's going on. It looks a little weird because it's inside of our video template, but, for all intents and purposes, it does look pretty nice.
When does the operation begin?
Our intelligence within the FBI was not clear, but Romer's men are already inside the subway.
Is it the same virus?
Yes, enough to eliminate everyone within 100 miles or more.
Procedure?
Standard intercept and eliminate. These are from our contact inside Interpol. Jenkins' team is already on search and defuse. You are the trigger.
I recognize Anton Gerdu and Mara Aramov. Who's the other one?
Pavel Kretich, Romer's communications expert. When you eliminate him, you'll also have to destroy his comm uplink. You'll be dropped into the strike zone when the firefight begins. You'll have an hour to find your targets and take them out.
Do the locals know what they're dealing with?
No.
I've got an ID match for Romer on level 1. Gerdu is on level 2. No location yet for Kravich, and I don't see any sign of Aramov.
Copy. I'm on my way.
Lee, so the Oceania version, what exactly is that? I don't know if I know what that is. All right, so real quick differences. Big wall here. There is a window that you can climb through to get to an ammo box. Also, if a terrorist gets killed while... Oh, this guy's not going to do it, but you sometimes can actually get the... you can get them to turn on fire still. Alright, so we're getting a little closer to final, but still no, like, sparks, like the world's ending.
Leon, Romer's men have locked down the subway entrance security gates.
You'll have to find the bypass switch. See if you can find a surface elevator.
Cornbread Man, so this is the part where, in the earlier demos, he did call her Mei Zing, even though all the text referred to her as Leon. I don't know if there's any other lines, especially in the demo, that reference her as Mei Zing. This already is much nicer than the previous demo because there's normally like 13 terrorists that are just waiting there to kill you. Oh, there you go. If you're at the point where they're ready to burn, while you're tasing them. Now, here's something a little detail I've never actually noticed. This used to be, and I don't know why they would change it, this used to actually go up a little bit. Because what I was telling people earlier is the 1998 Toys R Us demo has a video of the game before you actually click to play the demo that doesn't match the actual gameplay. And it looked like something very similar to this actually led down to the subway. Now in the Toys R Us demo, in the demo we just played, this actually was headed up. Now it's flat. Such a silly little change. Like, I don't know what is so special about them, but I'm not sure. Now, I'm always surprised that this doesn't actually come in earlier. Like, when you're first walking into the vacant bank instead of, like, as you're literally right by the CBDC agent. Much brighter of an area, with the exception of this back room to get the grenades. I believe this is an M16. Damn, that was quick. They already took the bomb and everything. Now, I did this last night when I was just screwing around, but you actually, when you first save the CBDC agent who disables the bomb in the vacant bank, you can actually walk through the CBDC agent and the bomb. It's like one of those things that doesn't make sense, but, you know, who really cares? Kind of just like I shot through that wall with an air taser. Well, that's why I'm hoping, Lee, I have the 1997 version that we teased last week, and unfortunately is not playable, and honestly, it would probably cost a couple of grand to pay somebody to not leak the files and actually get it to work. Somebody who has messed with PS1 dev stuff. Unfortunately, I have no way of doing that now. Although I will at some point probably look into it. It's just so expensive. But we have that version. And I have a feeling that the... Oh, that's interesting. This is the first time I've actually paid attention and saw a terrorist spawning because while we were tasing him up from the top. Sorry, I got sidetracked with my own thoughts. If anybody happens to have a couple grand handy that they'd like to donate to get the original version working, I'm all for that. But totally don't expect anybody to do that.
Gabe, I'm getting interference. You must be near their communications array.
Kravich.
Yeah, so in this version, just like in the final version of Syphon Filter 1,
The comm equipment, but I don't see their uplink dish.
Does not have his custom model like he did in the earlier demos. Appreciate the fact that most of the terrorists just jumped into the fire, the grenades. I mean, hey, more power to them. Now, this is the first demo that actually includes a version to get outside. And this is the first one to actually include a version of this area where you provide the cover for the CBDC agents. Now, what I don't like is that I can't throw more than one grenade at once, which is a little heartbreaking. Alright, I think my work here is done, at least in this section of the level. Sorry, I had a text message open. I didn't see the chat. Which ammo box? Are we talking about the one over here? Well, that's the interesting part is that, well, A, there's no terrorists sitting on the ledge here. I just don't, what I don't understand is why they went through so many changes on, like public changes on this. So, like, there's at least three playable versions of this back area alone that either don't exist or are different. And then you have the 98 E3 demo that is even more different. The sniper rifle ammo box that was here in the previous demos, they put that over outside by the put that over outside.
Abe, this must be where the subway security bypass switch is located. Find it and shut it off.
Copy. See if you can find a copy of the subway system security protocols.
Now this is interesting. That's the first time I remember hearing the subway train.
You've bypassed the subway security. The ramp in the first terminal should be clear now.
Well, it's interesting. In the previous version, it was also kind of connected, but it doesn't look like a subway. And it doesn't in this version either. Sorry, Cornbread Man, did not mean to miss your message there. So, the game runs and goes into like a PS development disc loading screen where I can select most of the levels to play.
Where's Romer?
Level 2.
The problem is once you actually select a level to play, no matter what you do, what button you choose, no matter what button you choose, it will unfortunately just lock up and not actually load anything. always forget about this guy hanging out there. Now this is actually interesting. I don't think you can... I don't remember being able to walk that far down this subway area. Hello, let me climb there, sir. I don't know too many people that could just take a shotgun blast like that with no issue, but, you know, power to that guy.
Beacon set. Tell CBDC to get its guys down here.
Copy. They're on.
Oh, son of a bitch. Hoping this fucking CBDC agent gets his ass over here. Oh, poor guy got blown up and hit by a train.
I located Romer. He's on the lower level, arming another bomb.
I'm moving.
Jesus. Why are there so many of you? I guess you're all gonna die. And now I'm out of M79 grenades. Alright, let's see how far down they'll let me go here. Now,
You're leaving the strike area. If you leave now, the mission will be a failure.
yeah, so that one they don't let you do anything with. Ah, there we go. I knew there was a switch around here somewhere. It was either that or I was going to fall down a bunch of elevator shafts. Poor guy. Never saw it coming. poor guy's just completely oblivious. Honestly, don't know what happened to the guy that was the voice actor for Anton Gurdu. Unfortunately, oh shit. Damn it, I just wasted all my grenades. Good call trying to hide, though. I honestly, I don't know. A lot of the voice actors, you know, I mean, it took what, 20 years or more than 20 years for somebody to get a hold of the interesting you know, to get to find John Chacon, you know, the voice of original Gabe Logan from the trilogy. Unfortunately, like John Garvin's mentioned this a ton, a lot of these voice actors, they really weren't voice actors. They were just people that got off the streets in Bend, Oregon, or in California from so that's the problem. It's so hard to find any of these original actors, and you're talking about 23 years ago, and unfortunately, you know, some of them may not even be around anymore.
I'm setting a beacon. Wait. Leon, this one's different from the others. It has a shorter timer, and it looks...
That's not viral.
Too late.
00 Snake, I never heard that one before. That's interesting. Yeah, honestly, it's always fun to look back and see these differences, and yeah, believe me, I wish we had a way to play the 97 beta I have, and like I said, I'll do some digging at some point. Maybe I'll try to find somebody who could crack it open for us. Lee, honestly, it's been so long since I've gone to that, you know, no exit area, so that does not surprise me that it is a trap. I normally am just playing it, and, you know, I don't dive through and look for all the other fun stuff. I think Leon's voice actor, I want to say it was 4, because I think all 3 of the trilogy games have a different voice actor, and then there's the one from the trilogy. Lee, that's a good point too about the shotgun shells versus shotgun ammo. I wonder if it's just one of those things that didn't even really realize they were changing. Alright, well, since you guys are here, I mean, there's not really much I can show you that you guys haven't seen before. Unfortunately, there's not much we're going to be able to do if this actually works. But I'll at least show you. You know, we posted a video of this recently. And I don't know of any other... there is one disc that, not even really a demo, it is... It is a PlayStation 1 like dev disc that came out, I think, when the PS1 first came out, and you could play videos to show you basically the cool shit you could do. I don't know of any other games that have this format, which is like this rainbow colored menu with this weird text that you can, you know, I don't know if there's other games that early beta versions use this, while they were actually, you know, they were more worried about the level design. Double O Snake, yes, this is my PS3 does have custom firmware to run all this. It does make it a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, you can see it. The subway destroyed the park, the military bases, you know, the warehouse, the cave. I'm assuming Syphon Filter Chamber is what eventually turned into the ending, you know, the ending level. But yeah, and even though there's files on the disc, when you look at it, unfortunately have not been able to get... yes, that's a good point. I didn't even think about the catacombs. Yes, you are correct. That is probably what it is. But yeah, the select button changes which level you could choose, and unfortunately it'll just lock up when you actually go to play any of these. So someday I will figure out a way to get the money to get somebody to get these things working for us. It's just it's probably just going to cost a lot of money, let's be honest. So at some point we'll share more of the Syphon Filter 97 beta files. I'm hoping that there's some original devs out there, you know, that'll actually be maybe have a copy themselves or a working copy, not sure. But I will say the back end does actually have more files or more levels than are listed here, and that does match more of what you know, what we know and love from the original full Syphon Filter 1 game. Yes, Vincent Haddon, I have been to a casino plenty of times and unfortunately have not become have not walked out with a couple $100,000 or $1 million, but someday. But this was kind of silly, honestly, just like a little bit of a test to mess around with some of the old demo discs. Didn't necessarily plan on running through all of them, but I'm glad you guys were here hanging out and you know, talking with me and discussing some of this stuff. We'll definitely do more of this. My schedule into the fall and the winter is going to get a little nutty, so most of our streams, I'm usually working a second job on Saturdays, so most of our streams are probably going to be later at night. But we'll see. We'll see how things go, and what we'll probably do is go through and start, you know, playing the games from the ground up, and then see where we can go from there. So appreciate you guys hanging out here with me. As always, sf-central.com/discord. Someday, before I die, hopefully in the next 30 years, I will actually get a working website up that has all the cool shit that I've been collecting over the last, you know, 15 years. And some of the fun stuff that you guys have all found and searched for and everything like that. Still want to do more with John Chacon. He is excited and happy to do so. He's a couple hours away from me, so hopefully someday we can actually sit down and do a legit interview with him, video interview. But so much to do, not enough time, energy, or money, or anything to do it. But we will get it done. So Retro Motos, this is not public. The file, I'm the only person that I'm aware of that has this version, and unfortunately, as I mentioned before, it's not. It does not work. If anybody has connections to people that may be able to get it working, feel free to reach us out to me here on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. The Discord is here. I'll actually just type it out since I have my phone right in front of me. If you just go to this link, you should have an invite to go ahead and just actually get right in there and join the Discord. Retro, if you could possibly join our Discord and connect with me, or okay, that's good to know actually. On the RE1 front, or excuse me, RE 1.5, I haven't played a shit ton of that. I will check him out on YouTube. But feel free, if you have any information, go to facebook.com/sfcentral and shoot us a message, or even shoot us a message here on YouTube. Would love to talk more about it. But yeah, for now, it's kind of one of those things that I have I've held near and dear to my heart over the last 10 plus years. I've had it. You know, I got it from a previous dev from the original games. I've actually talked to a few more devs that have worked on the games, or actually all the games. So hopefully over the next couple of months I can get some access to some cool stuff they have, working files of original levels, Syphon Filter, Omega Strain stuff. My problem is I waited too long when I was in college or high school and college and started reaching out to people, or I should have started reaching out to people then. The fact that I'm doing it in 2022, a lot of people don't have backups from, 23, 24 years ago. So we're doing our best, but Vincent Haddon, I just saw, thanks for joining all you guys. I appreciate it. We're going to definitely do more of this now that my PS3 can actually stream to my computer, and my poor gaming laptop, streaming laptop, can just do the stream stuff. This works out pretty well. So thanks again for joining, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Make sure you're subscribing, following, and have a good rest of your Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you're at.